Well, there's a guy on X in the Tesla community who seems to just have this reputation that's almost everybody thinks he's amazing. And his name is AJ. And I've had him on my show a few times, and he's amazing. He actually the amount of work that he does to understand things is pretty cool. But for today, he's taken a shot. This is not like him. He's speculating. He's taking a shot. And I want to see what you think about his speculation. So it turns out Brian White, by the way, I have Brian White here on the show. I assume they just know who you are, Brian. I don't
Probably
know.
do.
Probably. Okay. So anyway, AJ noticed in the flyovers of Austin that a lot of the cybercabs have a tinted, dark tinted window. And so he decided to take that and make this leap of speculation that the reason for that is because they have steering wheels in them. And I'm going to fill in some blanks of what he said just to make it a little richer. And his idea would be, I suppose, that Elon Musk had an epiphany, because he does. Elon and his team, they listen to what we say on X. They pay attention to what people are saying on X. And that maybe when the Cybercab came out and everybody's like, wow, we love that styling, and oh, that would be cool. And we only need 2 seats for our application. And why don't you just do this as the what do you call it? The less expensive, the $25,000 car, that maybe Elon, like he did with the truck, did and went, okay, let's go ahead. What the heck? Why should we fight the crowd? So what do you think? Do you think there's any chance that AJ is right in that the new affordable car coming soon will actually be the Cybercab with a wheel and a gas pedal?
Well, I appreciate that you wanted to make it a little richer, and good golly, Miss Molly, have you done it? There is I think I got that right. So AJ is, and by the way, when I say I think everyone knows who I am, I mean because I'm on your channel so much, not because I'm extremely famous. No,
Yeah.
but I am pretty well known lately for having the most insights on the Cybercab. So the first part of the question is, who is AJ? He does analysis. He does very deep analysis. His understanding of financial statements and 10Ks is top notch. I don't know if there's anyone who's better than him, but he is able to cut through the nonsense and show you the real information and what it actually means. AJ is a tremendous resource to the community. And if you're looking to invest in Tesla or other companies, his insights are valuable. But what that is analyzing the past, not predicting the future. So could they, I've had to deal with this question as recently as today in the comments on my videos, people saying, guys, you don't get it. I've told you 5 times the new car is the Cybercab with a wheel. No, it isn't. That project was canceled last April. You can build it. You can build anything, but they canceled it. All the parts needed, all the supplies needed are not in the works. We know this. I know this. Further to that, I've talked to the engineers. The engineers have said, this is not happening. There is not going to be, there will never be a human operated version of the Cybercab because it's not right for it. So what hints do we have to show that? Well, the first one is we've been told that this will be built on the same line as the 3 or Y or both. That line is not set up for unboxed. So I don't know how you would build a vehicle of an entirely different philosophy on the same line as a traditional auto. That'd be like saying we're going to build the semi on the same line as the 3 or Y, or the Robovan on the same line as the 3 or Y. I guess you could. It would just be a catastrophe.
Right.
Don't do that. So then you've got, that's a very big clue. But the other is that all the systems need to be changed, all of them. The wiring harness would need to be completely different. How many wires do you think go from the wiring harness to the side mirror? Well, you need one to fold in and out, one to fold up and down, one for tint, one to fold the mirror in completely at parking, and one for dimming. So that's 5 wires per mirror. I mean, you've increased your wiring harness by 10% on your first piece of it. Then the motors would need to be bigger. Those motors are only geared to go 85. So we'll have to swap out the motors to something more powerful and more fun. You don't want a powerful, fun motor in a car that's not human driven. It'd be deeply unpleasant. So we need different motor. Well, gosh, at that point, now we need a different cooling system because the cooling is no longer adequate because you've got all that. Oh, shucks, we're going to need a bigger battery too. Oh my God. That's a different car, my friend. That is a completely different car. So it's not as easy as just slap a wheel in and away you go. And further to that point, the real estate that you would use for the wheel has already been occupied by other systems. So the logistics of making a human driven one are challenging. They are non-trivial. You would need to absolutely engineer it. The people who would be engineering it, the parts suppliers providing parts, all of them have said it's not happening. That project was canceled last April. It was called NV91. It is dead. Could you change course and do it? Sure. It would take an extra year. It would not be done by June. And then, of course, you've got the actual word of the engineers themselves who said it's not happening. So I don't see that coming. I have seen nothing in the choreography that hints that that is coming up. And we have seen every bit of discussion is that it would be based on the 3 and Y. So it's a very fun speculation. It's the kind of thing that's likely to get you clicks and views. But I deal in the known whenever possible. And everything that is known says that's not happening.
So let's reverse course then, and let's talk about, this is usually, if we're going to have a car in the first half, this is usually when we would start to see a camouflage vehicle someplace, or you would start hearing something from the well, you don't have so many connections anymore on the
parts side.
On the parts side, but maybe you would hear something somewhere in terms of product moving through the pipeline.
So with the Juniper, I did not hear as many rumors abounding in the parts side. I don't have as many parts contacts as I used to. People change positions and whatnot. But the real reason I didn't hear as many rumors was because so many of the parts are in common with the Model 3. If you've got all new Model 3 and Y parts coming, you're going to see it. If you've got just new Model Y parts, they're a little harder to spot. And if the new car is based on the 3 and Y, spotting the parts is going to be real tricky. If they just made a shorter 2-door version of the 3 or Y, which is possible, it's one of the possibilities, what's different? The doors.
Yeah.
How much road testing is needed when the platform is the same? Some, but not as much. What you're looking for is NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. You're looking for things like a weird resonance in the vehicle that makes the whole thing hum or rattle, things like that. Those can be done a little easier. It is entirely possible that they're track testing them, that they're testing them in places we wouldn't see. It's possible that they are testing them at Giga Nevada or at Giga Texas at night. It is possible because you've got miles and miles of road. It is possible that they're testing them in Michigan. People don't look twice at a camouflage vehicle in Michigan. They don't. They're so common because manufacturers are always doing that. And it would be reasonably easy to disguise something as a different brand. All you'd have to do is put a Chinese badge on it and nobody knows what it is. So there are a lot of ways to get around that. And the amount of road testing, if the platform is the same, if the wheelbase is the same, and all you're changing is the top skin, the amount of road testing is lower, the uncertainty is lower, and you could get it done. The real cutoff to me is 3 months out. I expect to see something road testing 3 months out. So that'd be by the end of March. We've got another 45 days or so for that. I think that is when we'll start seeing rumors and leaks.
All right. And then,
Oh, also worth noting, this doesn't confirm which vehicle it might be, but in Texas, you'll notice the ground floor of the parking structure remains security privatized. It's got privacy fences all the way around. We thought that was for Cybercab. We now realize it probably wasn't, meaning they're still working on something there. I assume it is this. And Texas, of course, has Model Y lines on which they could build it, but they also have a Cybercab pilot line that's actually building cybercabs. So that is not conclusive, but it is interesting.
on a similar note, we have already seen truckloads of Model Y Junipers being shipped out of Shanghai, but I haven't been looking for it, but I haven't seen truckloads of Model Y Junipers being shipped out of either Fremont or out of Austin. Do we know if there's any production yet? There's talking about coming out in March.
Oh yeah, there absolutely is. Joe Tegmeyer started seeing them in his flyovers a week or two ago.
Okay.
We knew that all four factories were making them. We just hadn't seen them. And again, it's entirely possible that Joe is asked not to fly on certain days. That's something that has happened in the past. He shared that with us at a presentation in Austin a year and a half ago. They often, that's how you maintain a good relationship with the content creators, is you say, look, I'll give you a little bit of love, but you got to protect me once in a while. So it is possible that he's been asked not to fly on days when they're doing big shipments. I don't know that. I haven't heard anything to that effect. But yes, all four factories are manufacturing the Model Y.
Okay, good. All right. So I just throw it up just real quick here at the end of the show. Anything out there that maybe is top of mind for you right now that we should talk to my audience about just quickly?
Yes, the sales slow down, Randy. It's the end of the world. Haven't you heard? I was thinking about making a whole video about this. I may still do it, but let's talk about it real quick. Norway, oh my gosh, it's off a cliff. No, guys, it's a little thing called January. Every January it does this. If you look at James Stevenson, he's on X at I cannot underscore enough, has a chart that shows Tesla's Model 3 sales in Norway by year. 2025 is actually above 2024. It's a delivery wave. It happens every year. Stop. But yes, in other countries, guys, it's too soon to know. But look, Tesla's down so far in Germany, right? All manufacturers are down in Germany. They're all way down. So what I said to James on X was, no, James, you don't get it. Tesla's so bad that people won't buy any car. That's got to be it, right? That's why everyone's struggling, is because Tesla's so bad. It is insufficient data to draw a reasonable conclusion. Well, in China, look, year over year, January was the worst. Hey, I hate to say this, but do you guys know that Chinese New Year is a floating holiday? It was in February last year. It was in January this year. That means Chinese New Year happened a whole month sooner, which I assume is also Tesla's fault. Elon probably controls the lion or the dragon or the rooster or whatever year it is. He controls that. Clearly he must. So, other companies are still showing good numbers. Great. You will notice that of all the people saying Tesla sales have fallen off a cliff, none of them are established prognosticators. None of the serious analysts share your conclusion because there is insufficient data to draw it. It may be true.
Right.
Probably isn't, because we've heard this story so many times. And maybe this is the first time you guys are right. More likely you're wrong again. And hey, at best, you're going to depress the stock price a little bit temporarily, but it really doesn't matter because we'll know the real numbers soon. And if you think that Tesla's value is based upon how many units they deliver, you definitely shouldn't be invested in the company.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And the serious prognosticators, by the way, AJ is at 425. The Rebellionaire group is at slightly under 400. And I believe that that Troy Teslike is also something under 400. But
Those numbers all sound right to me. For a first quarter is the weakest quarter every
And-
year for every manufacturer.
and you have a ramp on Model Y.
And you have a 4 factory ramp on Model Y. And a lot of people who might have bought a car in January or February have been given the opportunity to order a Juniper for March.
Mhm.
So I don't know what to tell you guys. Stop trying to badly predict the present. Boy,
Yes,
it's
actually, if for those who are counting cars and wondering how Tesla's going to do in 2025, their best thing would be to somehow get a hold of the pre-orders for the Juniper in the United States. We think we have the numbers for the pre-orders in China, and they are outstanding. They're amazing. And if somebody gets some kind of a clue as to what the pre-orders look like in the United States, that might actually give us some idea of how the year's gonna shape up.
the real constraint on the year is going to be how quickly can they ramp the new Model Y. And I don't have an answer to that. I can't have an answer to that. But if the ramp goes reasonably smoothly, as I feel it did with the Model 3, it's going to be 2025 is likely to be bigger than 2024, even before we count an intermediate model.
And the increase in the cyber trucks.
Of course, there will be no, Randy, haven't you heard? It's over. It's over. It's over. Well, I had someone tell me with a straight face, I assume I couldn't see their face. It was in text on comments saying, well, it's proof that it's over because why else did they drop the price by $7,500 at the point of sale? What is this a joke? They didn't drop the price. That's the federal incentive. What are you talking about, my friend? This can't be a real comment.
I'm highly confident that there are still people on the list waiting for their Cybertruck. I am one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have you don't have a Cybertruck?
Doesn't fit my family
Is how I
Yeah.
was going to mention that to you. Did you see this morning? I don't know. I don't know for sure if the reporter was somebody who absolutely knows, but it looked pretty official that there will be a 7-seat Model Y later this year.
I will look for that and I will remain cautiously optimistic, but we'll see.
A performance and a 7-seat.
Well, the performance is definitely coming. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't come this year. The 7-seat historically has taken the longest, and many markets still don't have it.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Brian, as always, we appreciate you coming on and kind of touring around the world and giving us updates on all of these. These are the important things, except that they're not going to be very important once Robotaxi comes out. I hate to say it. What are we going to do? What will we do with our time when we're no longer counting cars?
Go places and not stress out.
All right, Brian, as always, thank you, sir. And to all of you, thank you. Oh, by the way, one last thing. I know I keep interrupting my exit here. Follow him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could use more followers. He has way more than me, but it's okay. Follow him anyway. And because, it's a nice thing to do. And go check out, if you haven't ever seen one of his videos where I'm, the guest, well, you could do that. That'd be kind of fun.
And you could say to Randy on my channel that Randy sent you and that I told you to do it.
That'd be good. I think
be hilarious.
Really, really well. It's been great talking to you.